Today we are going to be talking about 2000s gaming. This video over here I've been meaning to watch for a very long time, and it's titled You Would Not Survive 2000s Gaming. As somebody who grew up in the 2000s gaming and now is frustrated with gamers nowadays, oh boy, I'm excited for the potential of this video, man. We're going to be reacting to it today.
Back in the early 2000s, the world of gaming was almost completely different. There were no day one patches, no digital stores for a bit, and no algorithm recommending what to get into next.
Dude, it's so weird to think about the old days. I know we're 10 seconds in and we're already pausing, man, but it's so weird to think about how, like, things have changed. It's crazy.
Just CDs, cartridges, and hope. If your game didn't work, that usually was it. You either took it back to the store if you got it from somewhere like Blockbuster or EB Games.
Dude, and game discs aren't a thing now either, which is crazy.
Or else you just stared at the error screen in silence.
Oh.
Or if you were like me, you tried the old toothpaste trick.
I was about to bring up the toothpaste trick. I was about to bring that up. It's crazy that we used to do that with discs, man. And they're like, dude, I don't know if anybody's ever had success with that. I've never had success with that.
And pray to whatever God you believe in that you could play your cheap used game.
Is that you are going to want to let this sit on the disc and harden and fill in any scratches.
And
Dude, I've never even used that much toothpaste. Maybe that's what I was missing.
that was normal. See, gaming back then wasn't designed to be convenient. You needed memory cards, you needed transportation, and you needed to be of age at times. And you needed that passion. If your disc suddenly realized it didn't want to work anymore mid-boss fight, you just sat there in disbelief.
Oh my god, and that's when you had save points. Well, I'm sure I know games still have save points, but you get my point. Like when you're playing a game and you didn't reach a save point yet, and then all of a sudden you know that there's something wrong with the disc. Oh my god, yeah, that is the perfect description of what's going on right there. That is the perfect description of it. You just stare blankly
like a fool. And the community and culture, oh man, it was real, loud, and in your face. Many gamers didn't have online etiquette, and in many games, your lobby was full of kids that just learned they could curse.
Oh man, no, it was a good mixture of like really young kids who like this video said, where they just learned how to use their first swear word, and adults trash on each other. It was truly all ages constantly going at each other, and I miss the old days of party chats so much.
What's up, dude? What be going down in the hood, you know? Word be sniffing that crack.
That's crazy, dude. The amount of nostalgia that I feel, and I'm not saying that anything coming out of these players' mouths are okay. That's not what I'm talking about. But the amount of nostalgia that I feel just for people like, you know, logging on and trash talking each other and just talking to random people in the lobby, having those like weird conversations. I miss that so much.
You wanna sniff some crack with me?
Like it's so out of pocket and weird, you know?
You probably ran into during your last Marvel Rivals rank up match. When you logged in onto Halo or Call of Duty lobbies, you were stepping into verbal warfare.
Yep.
50%.
And it was good for you, man, because gamers nowadays can't handle it. We just got Fortnite Delulu, and depending, I know this is the first video on a brand new channel, so depending on who you are watching this, we have a name over in the Fortnite space, and something that I constantly talk about when it comes to proximity chat in Fortnite is like, oh my god, you guys are losers. How can you not understand this? How can you not take somebody being a little bit mean to you? You wouldn't have survived an old COD lobby.
All insults known to mankind were probably invented there. Then there were
That's a good point, yeah. You just came up with them on the spot.
parties, arcades, midnight releases. Gaming wasn't just a hobby, it was a niche little culture.
Yeah.
And for every fun memory, there was pain. Tangled controller wires that ended up tearing up your controller sooner or later. Corrupted memory cards. Used games that barely worked, and
dude, there's quite a few of these things that I'm forgetting that we all went through, man.
Internet speeds that made playing games online feel like you were playing underwater.
Yeah, isn't it sad that Smash Bros still has that problem? I'm telling you guys right now, I would have a dedicated Smash Bros channel if they just had online servers that worked. Smash Bros is one of my favorite games of all time, but you have to rely on two people's internet connections to make it work. I can't believe Nintendo's so behind that this is still an issue. It's unbelievable.
And yet we all kept coming back. Let me take you back. Back to a time when being a gamer didn't make you cool. It made you a target.
Yeah.
Games were brutal, online was wild, and the only updates you got were cheat codes that you found out about written in a GamePro magazine.
Thankfully, when I was growing up, I was born in 1997, so by the time I was in grade school and playing games, every single boy was playing video games, so it wasn't looked down upon. I would imagine when video games first came out, especially if you were an adult getting into a video game, then you were really looked down upon for doing so. Dude, we're 2 minutes in. I'm already filled with nostalgia,
Everybody
man.
should be completely psyched about this. It's the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system at Walmart. PlayStation 2 has the realism that gamers are looking for. You want to be in the game. You want to be the game.
Oh, you know what's crazy too is how cringe those old commercials were. I don't want to look at it.
Player, DVD player, incredible graphics. You play the old games on the system, but wait till you see the new ones. It's a whole mental body feel.
Let's
And
start
now look what we have, man. They're hyping up the PlayStation 2 back in the day like that, eh? Crazy.
at the earliest part of the 2000s, a time when the only way to play games with other people was by actually getting up and going out to stand next to that person, at least in most games. For a lot,
Yeah, I started growing up around the Xbox Live days. That's the problem. So I don't quite understand. I understand it from a like I had friends that were into Smash Bros and we had to like go over to each other's house to play Smash Bros, but I still grew up with the luxury of being able to play online with
a
people.
lot of us, the option to just boot up, log in, and play Street Fighter, Tekken, Smash Bros, and whatever else there was out there wasn't available until that Xbox 360 and PS3 era. This meant actually leaving the house and going to visit friends and our
Dude, unheard of, eh? Dude, the amount of sleepovers that we had growing up, some of the best times in my entire life was sleeping over my friends, thinking that we could pull an all-nighter just for all of us to pass out at 5 or 6 or a.m. And we would just play and play and play and play all night.
a gaming gathering, or even going to someone's house that you didn't like just to get a fix.
I mean, sorry, I can't relate to that one.
And this also meant that you were susceptible to real emotions getting into the game. Listen, there were many instances where fights in the game ended up translating to fights outside of the game.
That I've never understood. I've never understood people who take video games that seriously, even if you're trash talking each other. That one I will never get.
Ever heard of some of the arcade fighting game rules back in the day? Stuff like don't grab multiple times in a row, being enforced with a few punches to the gut, or even knife fights over King of Fighters.
What? Man attacked with a knife over King of Fighters update? Arcade play King of Fighters triggered a real battle of blood everywhere. Wow.
Heck, you can still find classic fighting game pop-offs online from real beefs.
If this guy's talking tell him the money match for any amount of money because he's not gonna bet me.
And this stuff
That's crazy. I didn't know that people, I mean, it's not shocking. It's not shocking that people are, having real fights out of that, but like it's funny how times have changed.
wasn't just limited to these competitive scenes, because I promise you, it's happened in some of those normal homes.
Dude, it's just that thing with like the box TV with all of the wires, with all of the controllers, the little screen that everybody was like hunched over and looking at. It's so nostalgic.
There's no muting or blocking like we have now online. in
Oh
person.
yeah.
So you
Oh
were
my
still-
God. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the muting. I can't take it. I know, like, I mute people who just blast music and think that's cool for some reason. And I mute people with the awful, awful, awful mics. But like, this guy was a little mean to me on Call of Duty. No, you beat that guy.
Looking at and hearing whoever was trash talking you at that LAN party.
I just got into Xbox Live. I have this really great high-speed connection, and I was playing one-on-one NFL Fever against some other players from around the country. Now my gamer tag, my online ID.
And now, you remember telling people your gamer tags too? It's crazy that nobody uses that term anymore either.
Is
After we lost arcades, which were the main social ground for gaming, we had the emergence of an even more accessible battleground.
Yes, this is where I grew up with. I grew up with like still like playing LAN parties and things like that, Mario Kart at your friend's house, stuff like that. But this was my peak gaming experience. This is what I miss still to this day.
The world of online gaming opened up. While there were already online shooters out in the 90s with Quake and Unreal Tournament and even some online games before that, the advent of consoles getting actual good online brought the hype to mainstream.
Absolutely.
In 2004, Xbox would revolutionize online gaming forever with the release of Halo 2 and its Xbox Live service integration.
Dude, I still remember this day, my cousins showing me what you could do with Halo, and then I had the everything was way too violent type mom, and my mom was freaking out because I wanted an Xbox. My dad had to tell her that it's okay, it's just a video game, let him play with his cousins, let him play with his friends. Thankfully, my dad ended up stepping in. I have the best mom in the world too, but I was the first child, and she was overprotective, man. I still remember going over to my cousin's house and playing this for the first time.
This innovation would allow players to match up online, go to war, and hear each other talk during the match using proximity chat. This meant no matter who you were near, you'd be hearing them in battle. To do so, you had to hit the white button on your controller and then boom, you could speak to anyone within 15 or 10 feet. This meant you had to be extra careful when speaking to allies, as your enemies could hear you too.
Dude, I miss games with proximity chat. That's what I was talking about earlier when we're talking about playing Fortnite Delulu. It was one of the most fun experiences I've had in Fortnite in a long time. I really miss the regular proximity chat experiences. But the problem is culture has changed so much too.
This also meant that for the first time, players were able to vocally curse out each other and say the other obscene stuff that game chats are infamous for nowadays.
Learn how to actually play the game and talk.
Of course it's COD. It's always a COD clip, man.
Shoot a gun, dog. Learn how to
I'm
shoot a gun.
Riot Shield. What else?
Oh, Riot Shield. I'm gonna use Riot Shield.
Oh, now I'm a fuck. What do you want? You tell me
Look
you
at
want
I love
I'm
it.
pretty sure you've
Dude, you know what's... And you know what I miss about those days too? Because now with the Fortnite Delulu experience, you have the, oh my god, Epic Games, this person was a little bit mean to me, please ban them. No, you got into the lobby, you said, meet me here, you little bitch, let's go. And then you would just have a fight over and over and over again. You would stay in the same lobby with each other. That was peak gaming
all
experience.
heard and been annoyed by now of the classic, you guys wouldn't survive a day in the old Call of Duty lobbies.
I don't care. I'm going to say it. And you know how backwards this whole world is? Is that when we say, hey kids, you wouldn't survive an old Call of Duty lobby, we're cringe for that. We're cringe for that. I'm like, dude, I can't believe that I'm hearing the you're cringe from somebody who just had a mental breakdown over somebody saying, haha, you lost. I can't take it. I can't take it. I hate the world.
Quote. Well, I'm here to debunk that because honestly, every single lobby wasn't like that. If you were really out here not surviving, some obviously 10 to 14-year-old kid calling you a slur, you might need to go outside.
And before we say it, we might as well touch on this too, okay? I'm not saying slur usage is okay, but people were mean to each other, okay? I'm not talking about slurs, ignore that.
But I won't lie and say it didn't happen on the regular. And it didn't always come from kids. I remember being in middle school grinding Halo Reach and Halo 3 or playing
Sorry about the quick jump cut there, guys.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops with my friends and hearing a mix of the most insane and corny roasts and word combinations of my young life.
Dude, and this, you know what? I will say it's stuff that toughened you up. It was important for your development at this point.
Similar to the average Rivals experience. Okay, I'll stop. I'll let that game live. Especially because reading SYBAU and having the possibility of someone being banned is nothing compared to back then.
Oh my god, yeah. Dude, I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't believe everybody's getting banned for being mean now. Again, before you comment down below, slur usage is one thing. I'm talking about everything else.
Yeah, 2000s online game chats were largely unmoderated, so you know them MFs were ready to say whatever came to mind. It was a jungle of boys and men that really needed to get up and go outside.
Yeah, and those little boys turned into men because of it. They turned tough.
But I'll tell you now, when you found a cool group to squad up with every night from that chaos, it hit. You just had to take the suffering, the annoying guys, connect mics, and fire alarm beeps as part of the experience.
Dude,
Now,
so
I
true.
will say this. It definitely was extra hard mode being a woman and wanting to speak online during gaming.
Unfortunately, it still is. And depending if you're coming over from the Fortnite channel, I keep meaning to make a video on this because it's ridiculous how people are behaving towards women, especially nowadays. Like this, it was bad back then, but it's like to a new level of simping now too. It's like a mixture of disrespectful and simps.
Because as soon as those boys heard your voice, it was legit open season on anyone with high amounts of estrogen. And you know exactly what words they were using, what slurs they were dropping, and what they were telling you to do. I'm not going into detail. You cannot make me.
Yeah, especially when it comes into proximity chat. I'm not gonna go deep into what I've heard as well.
Just know that the higher visibility of women who enjoy gaming is a godsend that we didn't have the luxury of back then. But that's only if you could play those games online, because let's be real, a lot of gaming and online infrastructure wasn't ready for online gaming.
I don't know what game that is, the join game that I'm seeing right now. It looks very, 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 very familiar. That can't be Smash Bros, is it?
For many homes.
Oh, it is. It is. I was about to say it looks very familiar. That's why, because it's Brawl. Dude, I played a ton of Brawl, dude. I played mostly Wii U and Ultimate, though.
It was a normal experience, and those disconnects were just a bit of seasoning.
Oh, that's filling me with rage right now.
This
Oh.
went double for fighting games. You don't know what it was like playing on delay-based netcode for release year Mortal Kombat 9.
Dude, I straight up don't play it. The delay and the lag is so bad that I just refuse to play it. And I love Nintendo games, dude.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and bro, don't start me on Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yup.
They had us watching slideshows and pretending we had any control over what was actually happening on.
And you know how oftentimes you hear people talking about games now and they're like, oh my god, it's a slideshow. He's not exaggerating. It actually was a slideshow when you were playing Smash Online.
You were blessed if you could even download some of these games I mentioned when downloadable titles became a thing, because internet could be so bad at times.
Oh yeah. This is a good video.
For many years, we weren't just able to buy a console and download something on the same day. That wasn't happening without a memory card. Isn't it wild that I have to explain what that is now?
I know, that's how I feel about it. Dude, it's crazy that even something like a memory card fills me with such nostalgia, because I lucked out with a memory card, man. I rarely had the storage issues. My uncle bought me like a really, really big one. I don't remember exactly how big it was.
Memory card is what it sounds like. An add-on product that you connected to your console in order to save your progress.
And then that one guy who had Mario Kart completed, you do have to bring it over to that other person's house, and then you played with Toad for the first time. Things like that.
Without one, well, good luck playing any JRPG ever or unlocking any characters. Bro, as a kid, you should have seen me trying to beat Kingdom Hearts, Smash Bros. Melee, and Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 before owning a memory card.
What? What? Before owning a memory card? Did people do that? Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I remembered the GameCube coming with a small memory card. I thought I remembered that. I remember my uncle coming over with a really, really big one. I never had to worry about memory ever. But I don't remember how I got my first one.
The struggle of leaving your console on for a few days on end, then you know my pain.
Yeah.
Memory cards were like $20. So as a kid, you were really sitting there like, do I save for a new game or do I finally get that memory card so I can beat these old games?
I remember leaving my game. I can't remember much challenges, man, but I remember leaving my system on like overnight and stuff like that. I think it was to rack up Smash hours for Mewtwo or something like that for Smash Bros. Melee. And my mom and dad did not understand. They're like, oh my god, you're using up power. I'm like, no, we have to leave it on. You're not playing it. Oh,
I was just lucky my uncle randomly decided to get me one day.
Oh, no way.
Don't even talk about when the Xbox 360 sold a $100 hard drive separately if you didn't get the bundle. There was also the physical limitation aspect of gaming back then. Due to gaming downloads not being as accessible to the general populace, being new and sometimes not being available, we all typically had to go out and buy our games in the form of CDs or cartridges.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mean to dismiss what he's saying right here. I don't mean to do that at all. I'm getting so much nostalgia right now from watching like old ads on something like the Wii, for example. It's so like, it's so old at this point.
If there was a lot of hype built around the game, there was actually a chance that you'd secure a console but had to wait to play the game you were looking forward to. If you could even get it. Because when age ratings were enforced and you had parents that paid attention, you have to find a way around buying GTA as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, that was my mom. Thankfully, I had a dad that didn't care. Well, no, don't get me wrong. He cared. He's the best dad in the world. But I mean, like, he was basically saying, oh, come on, what are you doing? Because my mom thought Smash Bros. Was too violent for me.
But let's say you're a smart kid and you decided to wait for a used game sale price drop. Well, that was a big gamble. Back then, whether it was getting a game used from a flea market, renting from Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, Redbox, or Gamefly, or trading games, there was a big chance that your game wasn't going to work when you finally got around to playing.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, I remember going to Blockbuster. I rented a Digimon game that kind of played like Smash Bros. It was one of the best times I've ever had my entire childhood. I still don't know what game that was.
I remember so many times, whether it was a used Smash Bros. Melee copy that I got from GameStop or rental games that I got from Gamefly. When I booted up and I was greeted by these cursed screens.
Oh,
extra hard, because that was a week of waiting to get a replacement or a different game through the mail.
Especially when it was a game that was really hyped up too. When it was like, oh my god. Dude, the memories that are flooding back in this video.
And the junk happened to me multiple times. Like, my dad was goated though, so when we had Blockbuster, he'd take me back the same day to get a replacement. Or
that's hype. That I probably did the same thing now I'm thinking about it, because we had a Blockbuster like real close to the house.
Another funny quirk 2000s gaming had is that your console actually mattered. This was still an age of exclusive and console segregation.
Yes.
So your console selection was one of the biggest choices you ever make.
Dude, I remember begging my parents for a PlayStation. Again, my uncle came in clutch. Actually, it was a different uncle. One of my uncles bought me a PlayStation for Christmas because I grew up, everybody played Xbox. All of the sudden, it was cool to have a PlayStation. I had to beg my parents, dude.
Whatever you pick, you'd be missing out on something big. Unless you're me. Because I remember my dad and uncle teamed up and got me the OG Xbox, PS2, Dreamcast, GameCube, and GBA.
Dude, that's so nice. Okay. Actually, now that I think about it, dude, I've actually had a very similar situation to this guy. I had an uncle that bought me the Nintendo stuff. My GameCube and Wii. I had an uncle that bought me the PlayStation, and my parents got me the Xbox.
Man, stay off the light speed.
My bad.
Anyways,
What is that?
Every console not only had its exclusive games and hardware, but exclusive issues as well. But whether it was the 360's Red Ring of Death, Wii's trash online and weaker graphics, or PS3 having no games,
PS3 has no games.
What the hell?
nothing will touch the hellscape that was early PC gaming. Some will argue with me, but we cannot forget how horrible PC ports were back then.
Oh, I didn't even play PC back then, unless he's talking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, who played on PC back then? I don't know anybody that played computer games.
And these weren't just ports of some cousin game you never played. Games like Grand Theft Auto 4 and Resident Evil 4 were released for PC in abysmal states and barely ran, crashing over and over. It took years before you went a year without hearing about some game getting botched on the way to computers.
Dude, could you imagine the outrage nowadays if there's a game that releases and it's unfinished and there's nothing you can do about it? You already purchased the game, you already have a disc and everything, you already bought a whole system for it.
When they came out perfect, it was celebrated. Oh, but PC had another thing that consoles didn't, and that's piracy. While Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation managed to mostly lock up, PC still had easy ways to get free mainstream games.
Yeah, I never really grew up around anybody. I know of this, but I never really grew up with anybody who was playing these games on PC. Everybody had an Xbox like my entire childhood, and then everybody moved over to PlayStation.
It was also easy to completely destroy your desktop while sailing those seas.
Oh, yeah.
See, we didn't have trusted torrenters at our command just yet. And sometimes that one download of Spider-Man PC would give you a heart attack.
Dude, I'm thinking of LimeWire. I'm thinking of FrostWire.
Until you scanned that virus off your laptop that your parents just gave you. Yeah, I know that was very specific. And
It was a computer virus, and my pants fell down.
it's because it came from experience. But there was one shared pain back then, and that was that every game eventually had to become dark, edgy, and adopt the piss filter for a good 5 years.
That's true. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Above every difference between gaming now and then, nothing hits harder than the general consensus in times when you weren't touching virtual grass, but the real life greenery. If you were around then and still are now, I mean, duh, you're listening to this video, you know what I'm talking about, so I'll be blunt. It was not cool, normal, or really accepted to be a gamer back then.
That sucks, man, because I grew up in the area where it was cool to be a video gamer. Everybody was talking about the new Halo games. Everybody was talking about the new COD games. We all went to school talking about like these insane trick shots and stuff. It must have been so difficult, and it must be, I can only imagine how much rage people feel now if they were like bullied and things like that for being a gamer, and now everybody plays video games and now it's cool to do, just like the people who are like OG comic book and superhero fans.
In fact, if you openly showed a lot of people that you gamed, unless you were a kid, you were looked at as the butt of the joke.
That's what I can
This
see.
feeling was amplified by shows like Freaks and Geeks and especially The Big Bang Theory, which would haunt white nerds and get them called Sheldon for decades by white moms everywhere.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that, because that show was massive when it came out. I know it like was a big show its entire run, but I never even thought about that.
I think I used that joke in a video before. Gaming just wasn't mainstream, and despite coming so far, it wasn't celebrated like it is now. Adults said you were getting brain rot from playing games, and people your age said you needed to grow up. Unless you solely played Call of Duty or any war shooter like that.
Oh, that's what I never understood about people, man. Where it's like, oh yeah, I play my big boy game, Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm super mature. I play my big boy game with my big boy pants, and I play Call of Duty.
Sometimes God of War and a few other exceptions like GTA. You were a freak until the world realized that it could commercialize nerd culture for stupid amounts of money.
Oh yeah.
Those people who talk about getting bullied for playing games and watching anime weren't just saying it for internet clout.
Oh, and now anime is cool too. Like, it's insane how much the world changes, man. Everybody likes anime now. Now it's awesome. Now it's not like an automatic turnoff.
I saw what other people went through, and I can't pretend it didn't happen because it didn't happen to me. Now, those same people that were bullies be running around and saying they've always been about it because it's big now.
Oh, I can't stand those people, man. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Okay, let me stop ranting. There were other problems for gamers back then, like not being able to go out and grab merch from your favorite title like you can now. I used to dream of owning Figma, Nendoroids, plush, and SH figure arts as a kid. Now I can just go to the store and open up Amazon and get one without even turning my brain on.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I was a big Sonic kid, and I remember like there was some Sonic things that I would like, or if I happen to watch a YouTuber who had something cool, you didn't just like run into things like that where you could just get anything related to the games that you liked.
The 2000s era was a time when gaming really felt like a secret club.
Speaking of Sonic,
Oh,
the music.
It was fun, you know.
Why is this game worth waiting up all night?
The game is worth waiting for because it's the entertainment system of the future.
And it wasn't always the easiest to get into. Now,
I'm sorry, you would never catch me. To be honest with you, I was too young for it, but even nowadays, you would never catch me waiting all night in a line for a gaming system like that. I understand the hype; it must have been great, but I wouldn't be able to.
anyone can hop online in seconds, download something, and instantly be part of a massive community.
It's better
which
that
is
way.
Great. Gaming's more inclusive, more global, and more accessible than ever. But something did get lost along the way. The chaos, the realness, the human touch. Back then, gaming had more heart no matter
Yeah,
where
that's
you
true.
looked.
Yeah, now it's all corporate. Now it's all battle passes. Now it's all to sell you stuff. And the gamers themselves have changed. And we talked about that at great lengths over on the Fortnite channel.
We had connection problems, sure, but we also had a little more connection.
I do not miss the connection problems at all. Not one bit.
You see what I did there?
Haha.
It feels like we've traded away a lot of that heart for convenience. Crossplay, cloud saves, instant access, but we also got microtransactions, early access scams, and billion-dollar publishers trying to sell us stuff that no one even asked for.
To be honest with you, I still think it might be a little bit better. If we're talking about like the Xbox Live days, then sure, I might be able to see where you're coming from. But if we're talking about like LAN parties only, laggy connections, things like that, I'll take gaming of today. And I do not miss discs.
But despite all that, it doesn't feel like the spirit is completely gone. In fact, I feel like if you look in the right places and with the right people, the spirit is there more than ever. And yes, that includes the chaos and foolishness that happens in Rivals matches. Anyway,
What's with the Rivals matches? I need to play that game more. I've liked my experience with Marvel Rivals, but I don't have time to play any other games right now. So what am I missing with Marvel Rivals here?
leave a like and sub if you enjoyed.
Dude, that was a really good video.
Stories about your 2000s gaming experiences.
Dude, I did not expect to feel this much nostalgia from watching a video about 2000s gaming. I thought like You Wouldn't Survive 2000s Gaming was going to talk about like, I did talk about how much gaming's changed, but I thought it was going to get into like players in the COD lobbies and things like that. And I thought it was going to be a phenomenal way to start off this entire new channel that we have over here, guys. Please go show the creators some love in the pinned comment description down below. And depending on when you're watching this is the first video on the new channel. So I'm going to say YouTube thinks you'll like this video the best, but it might not show you anything until I have more videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.